Hello, stamping friends. Welcome to this week's video here at Magnolia's Place. I'm Carole Parsons, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in South Carolina. Do you like making fun fold cards or following a card sketch or seeing new products? Then you are in the right place. This week we're going to learn how to make... I have two samples to show you. This fun fold card, and this is called a gate fold pop-up card. Okay, now watch the magic. You ready? Da 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 da! Isn't that cool? And when it stands up just like this. So I'll show you from the top down. It stands really easy. And I just love this. I think this is the coolest thing. Now, I learned how to make this from, one Lisa, one Patty. I think it was Tammy White. Anyway, so this is the first one I made, and this is using the Pretty Florals suite. But today we're going to make a Christmas one. Look at this one. Isn't that paper gorgeous? Ta-da! Isn't that? Oh, that's so pretty. It just makes me happy. I love this paper, and I've already used it all already. I just got it. I've made some here at home, and we're going to use this in class the week after next. So, yeah. And one of my favorite things, this designer series paper, you can die cut with the dies. So what stamp set did we use? I used the new Christmas Greenery stamp set and the dies. And yes, you can see, if you haven't seen my other video yet, I retrofitted all of my stamp sets using envelopes because that's what Stampin' Up! Is moving to. And I happen to use Avery L envelopes. You'll see it on my previous blog post and on a previous video as well. But when Stampin' Up! Comes out with them, our envelopes will be very, very much like what we have been putting dies in. So anyway, that's what we're using there. And hang on and let me grab the little samplery thing. I always make these for myself. And I take them to class the first time we use at least I try to remember, the first time we use a designer series paper so they can see the other patterns available and the colors of cardstock that coordinate with it. But this one is my favorite. Love, love, love this. And I also like these Secret Sea. I don't know what it is about Secret Sea, but I love it. Of course, it's a blue, you know, I'm totally in love with blue. Anyway, this one's very pretty too. I love all of these, but that one's my favorite. I may have to buy like 10,000 more packs just to have enough of that pattern. Anyway, so we are going to make this card, and we're using, get all my goodies here. You know what? I will just show you my, this is a PDF file that will be available to you free. It will be posted on my blog, and there'll be a link to it in the description box below, as usual. We're using Real Red, Gold Foil, Basic White, and the Traditions of Christmas Designer Series paper, which happens to coordinate with this stamp set. And if you notice, see this? That's the stamp, but it's also the same image that's on the designer series paper. So if you wanted to, you could color this with your Stampin' Blends or watercolor pencils and die cut it. But I really liked this because I liked the gold foil. I thought it kind of echoed what was in the paper. So, let's see. I use tear and tape, Stampin' Seal, and Tombow glue. All different kinds of things. What did I use the Tombow glue for? I don't remember now. Oh, maybe it'll come to me when we're making it. I've got the measurements written down here, so I'm going to keep referring to this to make sure I'm not putting something together goofy. And oh, I have a sheet, almost a full sheet. This is a designer series paper that I cut this from. Okay, so, and on the back there's that pretty pattern. So I just took this with the die cut, and I will show it to you right here, this one. See? All right, so that die cut cuts this out. Magic. Ta-da! All right, so we have one thing already done. All right, so now I'm sitting, and I know that to be in camera, I have to be above this line. All right, I'm all good here. Oh, and I'm going to need to bring my Stampin' trimmer over here because I want to show you how to get the bases put together. So let me take these off of here. All right, here we go. So we only need one sheet of cardstock for the pop out and the base. And I will show you how to cut it. It's not really confusing, but I think it's always nicer if you can see it. All right, have I got the top in there? Yep. All right, so you should be in camera there. All right, so one of them will be 9.5 long by 5.5. The other one will be 10 5/8 by 3. So let's do the 10 5/8 by 3. That's almost a full sheet of paper. So I'll extend the arm. And, oops, there we go. All right, 10, make sure we're still in camera. All right, 10.5, that's 4/8, and we want 5/8 right there. 10 5/8. Okay. See, it's only cutting off a little bit. And by 3. Okay, now we're going to set that aside for just a minute. Now, what's left happens to be 5/8 of an inch. I mean, sorry, 5.5. So we just need to cut that to 9.5, the length. And again, it's a very small piece. That's it. Now you've got the 2 pieces cut, and we're going to score. And I'm going to keep this over here so I can look at it and make double, triple, quadruple sure I'm not making any mistakes. All right, so this is the card base itself. All right. And we want to, I'm going to go ahead and take this extension arm back down. All right. Make sure you're in camera there. Okay. We want to score at both ends. We're on the long sides. We're going to score at this end and again at this end, and they're the same measurements both sides. So how easy is that? All right, so we want to score on the long side at 1/2 inch. Okay, so you could do it here or on this side, whichever you like. Most right-handed people like to do it on this side because it's just a little more comfortable fitting in the edge. So 1/2 inch. Oops, there we go. 1/2 inch, and then 2 5/8 of an inch. So 2.5, that's 4/8. 2 5/8. Now, triple check, 1/2 inch and 2 5/8. Okay, oops, I'm sorry. You know, my friend Sue Campfield, every time she can't find something on her desktop, she takes a drink of her beverage. I'm going to have to come up with something. Every time I send you into Dizzyville because I knocked the camera, I'm going to have to do something. All right, so this time let's do it this way, just to make sure that it makes sense to you. So we want 1/2 inch. Okay. By 2 1/2, 2 5/8. I knocked it again. That was a mini knock right there. Okay, 1/2 and 2 5/8 inch from this side, and 1/2 and 2 5/8 inch from that side. That's it. The card base is done. And so now we'll do the pop-up mechanism. So this is the part, or pop out, I guess I should say. That's this part right here. All right. So on that one, we want to score it at 2 1/8 and 4 1/2. So 2 1/8 and is it 4 1/2 or 4 1/4? Nope, it's 4 1/4. Good thing I triple checked. Okay, let me quadruple check. 4 1/4. Yep, 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. Okay. Now we're going to turn to the other end and do the same thing. 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. That's it. Okay, I'm going to put this up. All right. And we can take our bone folder and make our sides nice and crisp there. Oh, you know, I did need that again. I've got to bring that back over here. I forgot I'm going to need it to cut these. So let me fold those that way. Wait a minute. I'm looking at the card here. See it right here? That's the little flap. So it needs to go, yeah, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. It needs to go out. So you don't really have to crisp this up yet, but I kind of think it helps me when I'm going to cut it. And I'll show you why in just a second. There we go. And I'm going to pull that just a little bit, see if I can't get it. There we go. All right. Now, let me bring this back here. I wonder if I wrote down, now that I mentioned it, because I've got two sets of directions. This one is for the Christmas pattern, and then I did another set for the other one, just because, I don't know about you, but when I'm reading directions and looking at what to cut and the descriptions are there, it makes my brain hurt when I have to say, okay, but I'm not using the poinsettia petal, so I need to use the plainer color, or is it the pattern color? Yeah, no. So I made them match. So whatever you're doing, you can use them. Now, I did not write that down. Oh, I know why, because it's here. All right, so in the directions, I did this, okay? Just to give you another visual and to reinforce where all your score and cut lines are. This is what we're going to do right now. We're going to, it's over 1/2 inch. We already made that score line, but we're going to go down 1 1/2 inch and cut. And I'll show you that right now. I don't know, what is the deal? There we go. Okay, I'm in camera. All right, and you know what? It's probably, I'm going to do it this way because I think that's going to stay a little better. All right, now what you want to do is make sure that you're over a half an inch and that score line is lined up perfectly with the track. Okay, and it is. And what we want to do is cut down 1.5 inch. So this is our cutting blade, right? Over here is a ruler on the arm, okay? And when you get this new from Stampin' Up, it's clear. I don't know about anybody else, but I have a hard time seeing that clear. It just kind of blurs in with everything. So I took a piece of tear and tape and just taped it down right there so there's white behind it, and it makes this show up better. So that's a little trick for you if you think that's something you might like to do. So we're going to start at the top and we're going to cut down to 1.5 inch. And I'm going to hold it up. See, 1.5 inch right here. Okay. And when you're doing this, there's a little notch on the end or edge of your cutting blade. See it? Right there, a little notch. That's what you're going to line up with the 1.5 inch mark on the arm. Now, see what we've done? So we're going to do the same thing on the other end. So again, we're going to line it up to a 1/2 inch here and exactly on the cutting track there. And we'll go down to 1.5 inch. Now, see what I've got there? All right. Now you can do this on the paper trimmer if you just want to be real particular about cutting it, but I'm just going to eyeball it and use my skizzers. See where it stops, right? Oops, just sent you into Dizzyville again there. I've been looking at other camera mounts. I don't know if I'm going to invest in one or not just because of that, but Archon makes some nice camera mounts, but they're kind of expensive. There we go. In the track, go down to 1.5 inch. Flip it up so we could do the other side, other end. There we go. Now I can put this away. Oh, and you already knew about this little hack, right? I've told this before, but this is a, do they call it a reverse ruler? No, it's a, you know, usually we read rulers from left to right, right? Correct. This is the other way. So this is from right to left. When you get down to this portion, it's you can't get those little 8ths and 16ths marks in there. You just can't see them. They're not on this portion well enough to see. So I ordered this from Amazon and I just cut off the part I don't need and fastened it down with some tear and tape, and now I don't have that problem. Okay, now do the same thing again. Cut these little things off, and what we're essentially doing is making tabs. See there? So those tabs are what help open the doors. Okay. And those are not written in the directions because I put them right here. Maybe I should have written it too. I think I got overwhelmed trying to do 2 sets of directions. But anyway, I'll have to make an adjustment on there. I'll change it before I upload it. Okay, Oh, we might need that again. All right, now for this, we want to fold. All right, there are 5 sections, and the center section we want to fold in like this. Okay. Center. Center. And no. Yeah. I have got a there. I had a nail that was snagging on things, driving me bonkers. All right. So you're going to fold in on those, and then these will go out this way. So when you're done, it's going to be mountain, valley, valley, mountain. Okay? And you want to reinforce those with your bone folder so you have nice, crisp edges. You cannot get as crisp an edge with your fingernail or just using your hands over and over. You really need a bone folder. There you go. Mountain, valley, valley, mountain. Okay? And that's going to go right here. All right, so next thing we need to do, I'm going to go over my directions so I don't forget something, and I'll see if I need to add anything else before posting it up for you. All right, now this is the card base. And as far as cutting goes, here they are. I've got piles. Okay, we need 4 of these tall sections that are 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. And again, these will be on the PDF. And 2 of these will go on the outside and 2 will go on the inside. And I'll just lay them there to show you what I mean. This is on the front, on the outside. So 2 are going to go here, right? And then the other 2 will go on the inside right here, okay? But before we do that, we have to bling it up because there's this beautiful gold in there. So we have mats. All of the mats for this particular card are gold foil. And we need 4 of these, and they are 5 3/8 by 2 inches. Okay? So let me get, here it is, my little silicone mat. And I cannot live without this thing. All right, and let's go ahead, and since we know we need 4, we're going to adhere all of these onto their mats. And I think I can do this without getting my head in the camera. Oh, I'm so excited with my head, my hair. After several years, probably 10 years, 10 years ago, I started noticing some, not gray, of course I can't do anything normal, it's white hairs. And I didn't want those there. So, of course I went to my beauty salon and said, help, Barb, cover these up. And we picked out what we thought looked like my natural color. Well, we found out when we put this on that my natural color has some red in it, even though it was a dark, medium to dark blonde. Because when you color it, some red pops out. So instead of this nice medium to dark blonde, I got strawberry blonde. And it was very bright. And I've never liked it. But we tried some other things and just haven't been able to get the red out. But this week we did it. I told her, I said, you know, after the surgery, I'll tell you, it was breast cancer. We caught it early, I'm doing good. Anyway, after this life-altering thing, I've got to have my hair right. I'm gonna live. I'm surviving here. I need my hair right. Let's just make it a little darker. Instead of that medium tone, let's just go really dark blonde to see if that won't cover the red. And she said, you know, I have a better idea, because if we do that, that's going to be a more stark change than you would think. Well, genius that she is, she used those little foil packet things and just darkened some of my hair. Y'all, it is perfect. It is my natural color. Aha! I'm so happy. All right. So if my head gets in the camera, it's going to be prettier because this is my color of hair. Okay, last piece. And I got one of them just a little crookedy. So I'm going to put that one on the inside. That looks pretty good. There. Where's the one that's a little crookedy? This one. All right. So let's put that on the inside. It will be the least noticeable. You know what? I should stand up. I have learned that if I stand up, I don't have those crookedy problems. I don't know why. There we go. Oh, isn't that paper pretty? Gorgeous. All right. There we go. And you know, there really isn't an orientation for this, right and wrong, I don't think. But you can look and see which way you like it better. I like it better that way. So, and I want to show you another little tip. I don't know if have you ever used any type of a tape runner and had a problem where it didn't wind correctly up in here and you end up with a piece of the cover, you know, the non-sticky part popping out of here? Well, if you have that problem, all you need to do is that. What happens is you're not breaking the adhesive and it gets caught up in there. So if you just turn it back a little, it breaks it off, and it never ever happens. I have never ever had it happen since I started doing that. So if you have that problem, there's your solution. There we go. Perfect. Now, ooh, look how quick that's coming together. All right, so the next two pieces are going to go inside in this middle portion. The gold foil will be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And the designer series paper that's going over that will be 4 by 5 1/4. And there are so many pretty patterns. You could have used, look at that one. Isn't that pretty? I haven't even used that one yet. You really could use that. I just thought this looked better. A little more formal, maybe. Excuse me. A little bit less busy. There we go. Okay. That's centered. Coming together quick, don't you think? All right, so now we're done with the card base part. Now we're going to work on this. And this is the pop-up section. So for this, we want 5 pieces of gold foil that are 2 7/8 by 2, and 3 pieces of the Designer Series paper that are 2 3/4 by 1 7/8. And you know what I just figured out? I forgot to cut the 2 white pieces. I'm going to have to do that real quick. These 2 white pieces. So, just so you won't be bored waiting for me to do that, I will put the trimmer here, and you can watch me cut paper. Isn't that exciting? All right. So, I need 2 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 1 7/8. Oh, 2 3/4. Oops, sent you in a dizzy town again. By 1 7/8. One and 7/8. Oh, I don't know if you can hear it, but my husband's outside with the outdoor speakers. Can you hear it? He loves music, and he has ginormous speakers out there. He sits under a Japanese maple tree, which gives all of our wonderful shade at that spot right on the edge of the house, and zones out to his music. All right. Now, I just want to put all of these on the gold foil. Mats. And what we want to do as far as placement goes, this one needs to be white, and this one or this one needs to be white. It doesn't matter, because when you're putting it together, here, I'll show you on the front, you could fold it this way, or you could do it that way. But I just happen to do it this way. So on the left and the center, we need whites. But I don't want to put those down until we stamp them. I've done that before, and I'm not doing it this time. I'm not going to forget. I'm going to set them over there so I won't forget. All right. And oops. There we go. Does your family have a season of the year where it seems all your birthdays are happening? This is our season. It starts in September, all of our birthdays. September, October, November. September, October, November, December, January. Those 5 months, just bang, bang, bang. Everybody. Unbelievable. Well, on my side of the family, I should say, including my husband and I and my son. He has 8 brothers and sisters, so their birthdays are all over the place. Can you imagine growing up with 8 brothers and sisters? Not me. I had one sibling, and that was quite enough. Actually, I always wished I had a sister, but there we go. So those 2, and then we need one here. That is going to go right there. All right, now our white ones go there, so I can go ahead and I'll go ahead and put the gold foil on now. So how many of you send out Thanksgiving cards? You know, I tried telling myself I really don't need to send out Thanksgiving Day cards. And then when demonstrators are able to look at the fall holiday catalog for the first time, there's that gorgeous Amber Autumn set, and it's got toile paper in it. Oh my gosh. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to send out Thanksgiving or fall card. Gosh, all kinds of things with that. That is so pretty. Okay. Now, let's see. I can put the one on the front because I don't stamp anything on that one. Oh, now I remember what I use the glue for. For this. Okay. That right in the center. There we go. And it's a good thing I thought about this. The very tips I don't need glue on because they're going to run off the... Let me get something to... Okay, I've got paper towel right there. I'm going to wipe that off because those are going to stick out. There we go. Pretty, pretty. Okay, and then this one has the greeting and the... I'm not going to put that on. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the card just so this video is not too terribly long. That will go right here, and that will have a sentiment. And okay, when I do this again, see that little part right there? I don't know what that is exactly. Oh yeah, I do. It's the center for that flower. It just came to me. Anyway, so when I do it again, I won't put that there. That really doesn't go. I'll just use one of these. This is a flower center too, but I thought it looked like a little mini flower and it was pretty. I was just playing around putting that in there. And it just now dawned on me, that is the center for that flower. Oh, Carol. Okay. So let's go ahead and put this together. The next thing we want to do, this center portion, we want to use some tear and tape. You could use glue. Ooh, you know what? If you use glue, you've got just like a couple of minutes. Ooh, let's use glue. You've got a couple of moments to squish it around if it's not quite even. You know how it's got a little bit of work time? And the tear and tape doesn't. And glue will dry and be a strong bond. So let's just do that. All right, so let me get it all like this. And I'm going to stand up so that I make sure I'm in the center. I'm going to in the center. And we want it to be straight. That's it. All right, so what I would do, where's that bone folder? Here it is. Make sure you've got good adhesion. And then I'd stamp this before I put it on. Okay. So we are almost done because all we have left to do is, I'm going to do this side first. And I will use tear and tape here because I don't want any give time. I want it to be permanently adhered quickly. All right. And somewhere, is that the one? Yep. now just do this. That's it. That's this end of it, right? So to do this one, we do the same thing. It's going to go like this. So we want the tear and tape right here. I'm going to put it sideways so I'm in a little better position. There we go. I'll put that away. Well, I guess I don't need glue. Let me go ahead and put the needle in there. That is our mono glue. I put it in that bottle because I love that tip. Somebody gave me that glue. I don't remember what glue was in the bottle because I covered up the outside with some pretty paper so it would match my little desk caddy there. There, look at that. Ta-da! Isn't that so pretty? So just imagine that I did those two things. So that's how you make it. It's really not hard. I would say the most challenging, it's not even challenging, it's time consuming as far as cutting out all the pieces a little. But it makes such a beautiful card. And no, I'm not going to make all of my Christmas cards this way, but these two are going to go to my brother and my niece. Oh, but then I probably should I might have to make a third one because, you know, the nephew. Now, on the other side of the family, we have, see, I have 2. My husband has 11 nieces and nephews. So, yeah, I'm not going to make that many. I'm sorry, I'm a little biased. My own niece and nephew are going to get the really outlandish cards. All right, so I will go and put a note. I'll go in and change this a little bit right now before I upload it, so that you will have the directions written, not just in that diagram, about cutting down for the, well, now you can't see. Oh, there it is, for the little tabs, okay? And then you'll be all set. So please do me a favor, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really, really need this. I would love to do live videos, and I can't do it until I get so many followers or subscriptions. That's what it is. So many number of subscriptions, and it's gonna be a little bit, but I'd really appreciate it if you do that for me. It also helps search engines find my channel, the more subscriptions I have. So it would really help. If you need a demonstrator, I am certainly available to do that for you. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye.